Gave me strength, gave me hope for a lifetime. I never was satisfied. This time won't you save me? This time won't you save me? Maybe I could feel myself giving up.
Thank you, Mr. Plaza. Cool introduction. Ma, I got my own entrance music. How sweet is that? Mom's over there. She came to check me out.
I came to win.
Actually, I'd just like to start by thanking you all for having me here tonight. I'm truly honored to be a part of this memorable night and this memorable occasion for all of you. The music, it wasn't really just so I had cool entrance music. When I finished writing my speech, I kind of feel like there's a soundtrack to my life, and if I was writing a soundtrack for your graduation day, that song plus another one, they just came up, and I thought they fit the story and the speech that I prepared for you guys. So that was the first one, and Nicki Minaj, she's a beast. That's a great song. Stay on my iPod. I have to admit, I'm a little nervous now, if you can't tell, but I was even more nervous when I decided that I would take this challenge to be your guest speaker tonight. I was mostly nervous about the fact that I know a great speaker can make all the difference in a ceremony like this, while a not so good one could ruin the whole experience. So in my nervousness and in my attempt to do a great job, I did come and speak to the students to try and get a feel for the school. And I also got online to see what the most inspiring speeches, what people were talking about. And when I did that, it became apparent to me very quickly that what inspires us, or what people thought are the most inspiring stories, had this theme. And the theme was, these people just recently found out that they were going to die. And in the light of that, I guess in hindsight, they found a new way to look at life and to look at relationships. So I was kind of stuck. I was like, how do I live up to that? Do I make up a story about a terminal illness or something like that? That would be cool. So I said, maybe not that approach. Then I thought, this is a diverse, different type of graduation ceremony. Maybe I could curse a little bit, throw a few curse words out there, and just hold their attention at least while I'm talking. I didn't think that it was appropriate either, because I would like to pursue a career in speaking. I'd like to do this again sometime. So as I felt all this nervousness and was trying to find a way to be great and inspiring, I started noticing what I was doing, how I was being. That's when I said, no, I'm good enough. My story is going to be inspiring because I'm still living, and I can create the life of my dreams and share that story with you guys. And that's what I'm going to try and do tonight, and we'll just see where it goes from here. Mr. Plaza already told you, I'm originally from Chaparral, New Mexico, and I love the fact that I come from Gadsden High School, and I graduated from New Mexico State, where I played football and got a business degree before going on to play professional football. In the not-so-distant past, I used to try to minimize the significance of me playing in the NFL. Not so much because I was humble, but more so because I didn't feel like I really belonged there. I didn't feel like I deserved to be there. So I didn't want that eminent fall from grace to be so far. But in doing so, I didn't realize that I also minimized and missed a lot of opportunities to share the stories of all the people and things that happened to get to that point, which is still one of the most memorable days in my life. You see, life isn't lived in stories. It's lived in every moment, all the right nows that happen in every moment. It is, however, shared, honored, and given meaning to in the stories told and remembered. Today I become a part of you all's story, as you also become a part of mine. And my mission in life is that all the stories that I'm a part of are both uplifting and empowering to whoever I share them with. And that's just a personal choice. One day I said, that's what I want my life and my story to mean. And we all have that capacity to give the meaning and the freedom to choose the way that we share, create, and live our own stories. Author Stephen Covey, one of the authors of one of the most impactful books in my life, says it like this. He says that The book is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he says that within that freedom of choice, humans realize our greatest power. And he also says that we have uniquely human endowments. There's 3 of them. There's more, but these 3: self-awareness, conscience, and independent will. And the extent to which we exercise and develop these endowments empowers us to fulfill our uniquely human potential. Basically, all that means is that between an action and our response to it, we as humans have the power to choose our response. And in that power to choose, we realize our potential to create the life and the story of our dreams. Each one of you guys graduating today have that potential within you to create an amazing story. But what happens a lot of the times is we start listening to these stories of people that have influence on us, these limiting stories, stories that they believe and that shut them down from thinking of possibilities. Stories, just limiting stories. For me, growing up, I felt like I was a black sheep in my family. And the limiting stories that I started to listen to and believe was that, one, I was weak, I was a crybaby, and I was a mama's boy. And it wasn't until I got mad, I said, no, I'm not going to take it anymore. From here on out, my story is I'm the toughest kid on the block. I don't cry, I don't care. One day, all you jerks who are sitting there laughing at me, you're going to be looking up to me, and you're going to be wishing that you could be this cool. Those weren't the exact thought, but that gives you a strong visual of what it was like. And that anger and resentment, it created this very self-centered, callous, kind of cold person in my earlier, really not that long ago. And that's the kind of stuff that the majority of us experience as kids, and we start to create our adult lives based on. And that anger and that resentment was real motivation for me throughout high school and college, when all these people were doubting my abilities. And I guess it was also powerful when the alternative was thinking, okay, maybe they're right, maybe I do suck. But greatness doesn't start until you get beyond anger and beyond pride. And you start stepping into your courage. Another great author, Wayne Dyer, from the book Power vs. Force, says, courage takes you from basic survival into a larger world view, where you start thinking of others, and your impact is more about having a positive impact on the world you live in. And that's what I want for each one of you. Just by being here today, you've shown us that you have the strength to overcome the obstacles in your lives. Now, as you take these next steps in your life, I want you to start reaching for that greatness. That's a God-given gift that each one of you has. Believing and striving for my own personal greatness is where my story started to change. I was an NFL hometown hero. I was making $250,000 a year, but there was a void in my soul. I was lonely, something was missing. And it wasn't until one of the heroes in my story started making me dig a little bit deeper. He made me question those stories I said about how tough I had it growing up. But more importantly, he made me question that vision I had for the rest of my life. With his help, I saw that my greatest picture of myself wasn't in the things that I could achieve by myself, but it was more so the impact that I was having on the people that I was around on a day-to-day basis. And in order to realize and start building the story of my dreams, I have to honor the 3 P's. 3 P's are the process, the process, the people, and the principles. First 2 are pretty self-explanatory. The principles, they're a little bit different. They're kind of like natural laws, like the law of gravity. Living on Earth, we all know that gravity's out there and it has a certain effect on us. And at any point, we can choose to jump off that ledge over there and just try and test it out. And we know that the results will pretty much be the same every time. Principles are similar in the fact that they're not always obvious, and how you choose to work with or against them will determine your effectiveness and your success, both in your relationships and in your life. And those principles are things like trust, fairness, integrity, human dignity, service, and they're the building blocks of great relationships and a great life. For me, it looked like realizing that without my family, my brothers picking on me, and without the 3 coaches who really pushed me to walk on to NMSU when I didn't think I could play college football, I probably wouldn't be standing here today, and I wouldn't have had that great opportunity to travel the world, make a living, and make some amazing friends, all while playing this game that I learned to love as an elementary kid. It took all those circumstances and all those people believing in me when I didn't believe in myself to realize what I had within me. And I still look for opportunities to honor those relationships because it's had such a big impact on my life. And that kind of reminds me of the story that a young man named Ramon shared with me. Ramon's been through a lot in his young life. He came to San Andreas after being kicked out of his other high school. The usual story, hanging out with the wrong crowd, getting into all kinds of trouble. He even went to jail before he decided that he was going to take a look at his life and say, maybe this isn't the way that I want to live the rest of my life. But that wasn't the only challenge that Ramon said he faced. He said that every day, he has to make a choice whether he's going to do good or bad. And the people that he's around probably wouldn't care either way. So it's no wonder why when he came to San Andreas, he didn't expect very much more. He didn't expect to be successful, and he definitely didn't think he was going to graduate. And like all of you 2011 San Andreas High School Phoenixes, Ramon sits here today one of my heroes for his courageousness with which he approaches the rest of his life and for his resilience. And the best part is he knows he didn't do it by himself, because he sat there and he shared with me his gratitude for all the people that helped him to get to this point today. Like the story he told me of, the day he was just feeling really low. He felt like nobody liked him or cared about him. He said that he was so depressed he couldn't look anybody in the eyes. And it wasn't until Mr. Schaefer was sitting somewhere here, Mr. Schaefer took him aside and took the time to just talk to him and give him a little bit of advice. And in that moment, Ramon said that he felt like he mattered, like he was cared about, and like everything would be okay. He says that people like Mr. Schaefer, Ms. Fogel, Mr. Baldiaz, and Mr. Allen from the Rivers Academy are the reasons why he's here today. He said that without their care for him, or because of their care for him, he had a reason to choose a different path than the one that he was on. And the best part is that this is just the beginning of his story. And I look forward to seeing how he creates the rest of the story as he goes on to college, where he said he's either going to pursue his dream job of working on race cars, or he's going to become a counselor because of the effect that these people, these teachers and staff members had on his life. And that's a great point for Maestro to hit that second song.
To win, to fight, to conquer, to thrive. I came to win, to survive, to prosper, to rise, to love.
Isn't that it? Appreciate that. I just think like that'd be an awesome song. You guys have like pictures going by with you guys. You guys are the leaders. You guys are the soaring, right? And I appreciate that. There's not too many places like that, especially around here, that you hear people taking a kid from those low emotional states to not just feeling better about themselves, but feeling excited and empowered to create the life of their dreams. And every one of you that I spoke to said that you had those similar doubts that Ramon had, and you also leave here inspired to live the life of your dreams. Like Yasmin, I saw her in here. She said that she thanks her. You said I could. I asked you. Yasmin, she doesn't want me to say her name. The girl over there. She said she was inspired by her friend Mia, her boyfriend, and her family to graduate and to move to Tucson to go to school where she'll pursue a degree in criminal justice or nursing. Cynthia, who's not here because she's a little bit younger, thanks Miss Q for being there and inspiring her to pursue her dream of getting a degree in film and becoming a successful international model. Katie, who's right here, thanks Mr. Schaefer, Ms. Keys, Ms. Lyles for supporting her in the pursuit of one day traveling the world as a photographer and also taking over her family business, the construction business. And another youngster who's not here, Jesus, told me he was about to drop out of school till he came here. And he thanks Mr. McNeese, Mr. McNeese, for helping him find his passion for art again. Now he looks forward to going to college and one day working for Disney or Nickelodeon. And I can see each one of you guys realizing those goals. And I'm sure that every one of you graduates could tell me a story just like that. And that's something that's magical and should be honored. They already asked you to, but I'm going to ask you again to thank the parents, the teachers, the counselors, everybody, the principals who helped you to get to this moment, to create that magic in your lives. So go ahead and stand now, and by way of applause, just show that gratitude for what they've created in your life. Go ahead. Thank you for doing that, guys. You show your gratitude and more comes to you. And now I'd like to congratulate you all for making it to this point. Because from what I've heard, a lot of you were counted out at your other schools, made to believe that your lives would not amount to anything, or not much at least. But you guys rose like the phoenix, that is your mascot, because you were supported and because you're resilient. And I'd like you all to leave today knowing that you were all created for greatness. And when you ignore those people doubting you in your life, you express those uniquely human endowments, those gifts, and you exercise your power to create the life of your dreams. I want you to know that each one of you was created whole, perfect, and with all the tools to live the life of your dreams. Another great author that I'm going to quote, this is the last one, I promise. Viktor Frankl says, "Everyone has a specific vocation and mission in life. Therein he cannot be replaced, nor can his life be repeated. Thus, everyone's task is as unique as is his specific opportunity to implement it." That's a powerful statement, and I believe it to be very true. Basically what he's saying is each one of you was given a gift by God, that when you find it and you share it with the world, no matter what else is going on in life, you will be successful and your life will be fulfilled. So I leave with this. Anything that you guys can dream, you can be, do, and achieve. I wish you all the best on this journey as you courageously create the life and the story of your dreams. Thank you all for having me.